All right. We are back with another stock portfolio. I totally forgot to upload this video, the original video, so I just threw it up there. But I'm gonna go ahead and give an update as this information is actually a little old, but we'll use it as a record, kind of where we started and where we're trying to be. So, towards the end of the last video, my main point of contention was I had gotten some money. As you can kind of see here, it's a little bit less than $7,000. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to invest it in. So this is going to be an update on that video. But as you can see, Medical Properties Trust had a huge chunk of our current portfolio. TSLY doing the EFTs off of Tesla, Mo, JEPQ. Those are really my top main things. Everything below that is just a little bit smaller chunks. So let's go ahead and jump over to the new one, or the current, I should say. So everything is mostly the same. Medical Properties Trust now. I believe we had about 380. Let me just double check here. 382. And now we have 397. Tesla, I believe, is about the same. SoFi, this is new from the last one. I went ahead and bought 200 shares of SoFi. This Ashford Hospitality Trust, I got 200 shares of that. You can see all of those are up. JEPQ and everything else is basically the same here. I did buy one of these Marvell. This is something kind of like NVIDIA. It's kind of in that same kind of AI realm. Just basically bought one to kind of have it be something on my mind when I'm looking at my portfolio and I'm thinking about adding new stocks to something. I could just add a little alert or something like that, but kind of like to see it in front of me and see what's going on with it. Then down here, I still have a call out here for SoFi. Kind of waiting to see how that goes out. It's going to be in a couple of days. I have a TSLY call here, covered call. Looks like it's going to end worthless. I don't know, $5. So it's kind of right on the edge there. That last trust that I mentioned up here, let me see. Kind of forgot the name. Ashford Hospitality Trust. I have a covered call on that. I have a covered call on my SoFi. I have a covered call on my Medical Properties Trust. And I have a put on TSLY. So as you can see, I have three of them. So 300. I'm trying to basically run through this 4800 and get a whole bunch of TSLY to kind of fill out things here. So as you can see, my portfolio is currently 14,346. I believe at the end of the last video, it was about the same. It was about 14, except for most of, well, 7 grand of it was my actual account. And the last 7 grand was basically just cash that I was trying to put into things. So no real difference there. Let's check out the dividends, because that's really what this whole challenge is about. Now we are showing $2,000 estimated dividends here, which before we were at 1,600. The main players of that are TSLY, 1,409, Medical Properties Trust, 461. Everybody else is basically under 50. But as I've kind of said in the last video, I plan on basically focusing on these top 2 to 3, seeing what we can do with that, and then using covered calls and puts to kind of do the rest. I'm going to try to keep this one a little bit shorter than my last video, and we'll go from there. Hope you like the update here. I think this one's going to be about 4 to 5 minutes, and I'll try to do these a little bit more consistent. So maybe at least one every week. We'll go from there. Let me see here. Anything else worth mentioning? Not really. One thing I will say though, before I get off of here real quick, is some of my thoughts on the money. So TSLY, as you can see, is my main dividend getter here. It's got a ton of potential as far as the amount of funds is kicking out, but I kind of feel like things like this always hit a wall at some point. So I don't plan on putting too much more into TSLY. I plan to roll it into Medical Properties Trust, which is something that's down about $10 from, I believe, I don't know if it's its all-time highs, but what I think it could get back to, if it can just get back to $14 or $15, I'll make a lot of money off of that, considering I almost have 14 shares. This Ashford Hospitality Trust, I'm kind of looking at that in the same boat. It's only $4. They took a major hit because of COVID and a lot of people not going out anymore to hotels, and they are high-end hotels. So not the everyday hotels, but the, let's say, rich people hotels. So I'm thinking it's a lot of potential growth there in that area. And they got a little bit decent stock here. It's nothing too crazy, but they stopped doing dividends because of COVID. So if those start back up, even if it's a small amount, that can definitely add up there too. SoFi, if you know anything about SoFi, they are poised to really take over unless regulations come and attack them and keep them from really taking off. Um, I believe this one can at least double, maybe even triple its amount. So buying 200 shares of it, I felt like was a no brainer. And everything else I did really was just cover calls. Me just trying to put in some money into something and trying to see if I can capitalize. If you mess with cover calls, you can find out pretty easily that just doing a one cover call every, let's say, every other week is at least enough to get you one more share. So basically, to close, if you're buying a cover call, let's say once a week, right? It's 4 weeks in a month. There's 12 months. That's about 48. You can get about 48 stocks a month, just kind of going off of that basic math there. Then you got to remember, if you're doing something with dividends, your dividends are often going to get you another share or two. So if you combine those two things together, you can accelerate the growth of your account pretty easily, especially if you do something with a dividend. Even if you do something without a dividend, adding 52 shares to it over a year, that can really make a big deal. And that's without you actually putting any additional money into it. So it's definitely one of those things you should look into if you're into stocks and if you're looking into growing your portfolio. And if you're looking to become the second world's richest hobo, because we know spot one is for me. Thanks for watching.
Oh no. I say when we're done. I'm not leaving till I see the real you. Get up! I see why my sons fell to you. Even this lesser version of you. But I am not my sons. And your boy, Allfather, have plans for him. There he is. There's the god of war.
A lot for one morning.